Hey, what's going on, guys? Jules here with another reasoning sesh, and today we're going to be covering manifestation once again, how the biblical texts actually tell us to script and journal and actually create vision boards. It's all here in the text. Like I say, the biblical text is a treatise on explaining how to manifest. And if we really harness the power that it's been telling us all along, and not the way institution has been monopolizing and hiding the real truth from us all this time, we're going to be able to step into our real power and embody the real purpose which we've come into this physical plane to manifest. We've come here to create heaven on earth, so let's start by taking care of our own lives, and from there it can ripple out and actually help others in this physical time-space reality.
Come now and let us reason together. Come now, we can talk it over.
So the section I'm going to be covering is from Ħabaquq 2. And starting at verse 2, we see, Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables or tablets, that he may run that reads it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So of course, while many of us, do the visualizations, get really in tune with what's in our heart, that dream that we want to bring into the world, many times we get dismayed by not seeing the physical reality mirror that back to us. We get discouraged and we wonder, is this really going to come to pass? Maybe we're on the wrong path. Maybe Source has another plan. Maybe there's some other influences that are holding me back. All these things come into our mind, and those thoughts are actually what hold us back. But look what the verse actually says here. Yahweh is here telling this prophet, this messenger, I've given you a message, I've given you a vision, so write it down. This thing is in your heart for a reason. You know the direction that things are headed. Write it down, that he may run who reads it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. So Source gives you a vision, and you might write it down. You might create a vision board. You might get really into that place where it's real in your heart space, where you literally see it so vividly real in your mind's eye, in imagination, right? As if you're actually in that scene, in that moment. But the verse says, write it upon the tables that he may run that reads it. So as every time you're seeing this vision, it's really kindling that fire in you again. And it's inspiring you to continue with that vision. Yahweh continues, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And it looks that way many times when we're manifesting. I mean, we live in an extremely dense physical time-space dimension where it takes a lot of events to unfold, to bring to pass that experience of what we've set forth in the etheric realm. But what exists in the etheric realm has to condense into this physical reality. It has to. That's the way it works. That's the way reality is manifest. That's the way creation works. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So you might get all into your vision. You might really get into it. But if you're coming from an ego space, that's what the text says is not uprightness. But the just, it adds, shall live by their faith. And that faith is the anchor that we have in the vision that Source has given us. So of course we're living in a physical reality where it takes time for things to unfold. But just because it's taking time, that doesn't mean it's going to go slow. And when you start doubting the process, when you really start wondering if you're on the right track, or if this is really for you, that's when you start to sow seeds that actually sabotage the harvest that originally was meant to come to you in the first place. So that's what it means when it says the just shall live by their faith. That faith is what keeps propelling you. It's like a rope. You have that rope and it's constantly pulling you to your end goal. So don't give up hope, even though it looks like it's impossible. Man, there are things that I visualized years ago about even these scriptures themselves. I remember one of the first intentions I ever set was that I know the esoteric meanings of the scriptures. And guess what? That took years to even begin to unfold, because there were other building blocks that needed to be laid before that level could be established in me. And here I am, like 3, 4, even 5 years later, and I'm really just starting to scratch the surface of these esoteric levels of the ancient texts and start to explain it to others and help others along their journey. But when I started this out, there are other things that I haven't seen yet, but I'm starting to see how it's all playing out. And it all needs to build on other things that needed to be cleared out before I could actually lay this heavy stuff on myself. So don't give up just because the physical reality isn't matching your extreme visions. There are things that need to be taken care of before we can get there, and just trust the process. There are things that I've visualized that haven't come to pass yet, but I know they're coming because I know the process. There are other things that have literally manifested despite being absolutely impossible. So I absolutely have faith in this process. I know it works. And I know that those manifestations as well are coming to me. So don't give up. Trust the process. Stay optimistic, because really Source is manifesting heaven on earth. This is what we've come here to do. We were born for such a time as this. And I'm going to close this video with a quote that I first heard from Neville Goddard. And I paraphrased it to rhyme so it sounds a bit better. But this is really the essence of it. Every seed has its own appointed hour. It ripens and it flowers. If it seems long, wait, have faith, for it is sure, and it will not be late. So that's all I wanted to say, guys. Don't be discouraged by the physical stagnation of what seems to be not moving. Know that the intention that you've set already exists as a complete reality in the etheric realms, and it has to condense into this physical reality. The only way that you can stop your experience of it is to sow seeds of fear, sow seeds of, oh, it's not happening, sow seeds of, I don't deserve it, this is not the way that the world is going to unfold. That is going to sabotage the dream that Source has put inside you. And at the least, it will only delay the inevitable, but at the worst, it will actually hold you back from that full potential that Source has planned for you all along. So do your part. Really harness that energy inside you and manifest your dream life. You got this. We got this. Source has our back. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'll see you in the next reasoning sesh. Joel signing out once again. Agape, Salaam, Namaste, Shalom. So I absolutely,